Good afternoon. You're watching Times TV and today I am at the Indian Embassy and with me right now is His Excellency Munu Mahawar, who is the newly appointed Ambassador of India to Oman. Thank you so much for joining us today, sir.
Thank you.
And welcome to Oman.
I'm delighted to be in Oman.
Right, so how far or so long, how has Oman treated you?
Well, I think very well, as I had expected. It's a very friendly country.
Yeah.
It's a country with whom we have had extensive relationship for a very long period of time, spanning over thousands of years. And I think there's a lot of love and affection in India towards Oman. So it is not a surprise to me that I have received a very warm welcome here.
Right.
Whosoever I have met, whether it is on Omani side or whether it is the representative of Indian diaspora, I have had very warm interaction with them.
Right.
So I'm really delighted to be here.
So, sir, I need to tell you this, that there is a building curiosity since we got to know that you will be appointed as our next ambassador. So I would like to know all about you as well our viewers. So a little bit of background about where you were before this and how did you decide to come to Oman?
Well, before coming to Oman, I was in Delhi. I was Joint Secretary in charge of relations with Americas. That's India's relations with US and Canada. Prior to that, I was DG, Joint Secretary equivalent for matters relating to UN. And before that, I was in Prime Minister's office.
Right.
So I've had a longish inning in Delhi before coming to Oman. Apart from that, I have earlier served in Russia. I have done 2 stints in Russia.
Okay.
And I have also served in Geneva, where I was dealing with UN related matters.
All right.
This is my first stint in this part of the world, but I had occasions to travel to Oman and some other cities of this part when I was in Prime Minister's office. And there was always a strong desire on my part to work here, and I'm delighted that I have got this opportunity.
Right. So if you had to say what is the one thing that attracted you to coming back to Oman and actually joining here as an ambassador, what would that be?
Well, I think there were several reasons. First of all, of course, the Gulf, the Persian Gulf, the Middle East is a very important area from India's perspective. It is an area on which we depend upon for our energy security, and the presence of a large diaspora is also very critical for us. Within the GCC, I think our relations with Oman are particularly close. We have had, as I told you earlier, historically close relations. We have always had very strong cooperation in the defense sector. Our economic engagement also has been strong. We have been trading for thousands of years. So all in all, and Oman is a neighbor. Oman is a neighbor. We are maritime neighbors. So it's a country which is very important for us.
Correct.
It's a country with which our relations are a top priority for the government, and therefore it was natural for me to want to work in this
Right.
area.
Right, you did mention a huge diaspora here, nearly 800,000 Indians living in Oman. So that comes, of course, with a huge responsibility. So moving forward, what is your plan for the Indian community and the Indian and Oman relations?
Well, I think the Indian diaspora in Oman has played a very important, significant role in cementing the relationship between our two countries. And they have also contributed significantly to the economic progress of Oman. And we are really appreciative of, thankful to the government of Oman that under the guidance of His Majesty, a very warm hospitality has been accorded to the Indian diaspora. Now, the government of India has placed emphasis on strengthening our links with the diaspora. We want diaspora to play a greater role in development of bilateral relations.
Right.
We want diaspora to play a greater role in the growth story of India itself. And therefore, the government has been, through its embassies and consulates, making conscious efforts to reach out to diaspora to strengthen the bonds.
Right.
And therefore, the embassy here in Muscat also has been doing this. We have taken steps to reach out to the diaspora to strengthen our interaction. And as ambassador, my intention is also to continue moving forward on this path in this direction.
Well, I'm sure you're going to do a brilliant job. But again, when it comes to the different sectors that you as an ambassador will be targeting, we've obviously had a very strong relation, like you mentioned, with regards to history, with regards to defense. Again, the strategic location of Oman also has played a very important role. But what are the main sectors that you will be targeting, at least in your first year in the office?
So again, I think first of all, the partnership, the strategic partnership that we have with Oman is very extensive. It covers a large number of areas, and therefore we have to focus on multiple sectors. Now, if we look at the economic engagement between India and Oman, it is fairly robust, yet I would say it is not or it is still below the potential that we have, given the strong people-to-people links, given the strong and pretty good air connectivity, maritime connectivity that we have between our two countries. The trade, which has been growing, is still around $5 to $6 billion. Investments flow have increased, but I would say that there is still potential to do a lot more. And also, I feel that there is strong complementarity between the two countries in terms of what one country needs and the other country has to offer.
Right.
So, in terms of priority areas, of course, during Prime Minister's visit, we issued a big joint statement which it brings out in clear terms the priority areas. I would say the priority areas where there is considerable scope: space cooperation, energy, including renewable energy,
right,
logistics, mines and minerals, food security is another area where we can work together, and then some other areas such as skill development, on which the government of Oman is placing emphasis. IT. These are all areas where I think either we have things to offer which Oman needs, or Oman has capacity to offer what we need.
Right.
And we would like to move forward in all those areas.
Absolutely. Another sector that everybody is talking about is, of course, trade. And a lot of investment opportunities have been attracted by the Omanis in India and Indians in Oman as well. So it's like a two-way street that has been happening. And now the huge port that everybody in Oman is talking about is Duqm Port. And we know that there's a Little India project happening there as well. So how far is that going and what is the progress there?
Well, I would say, based on my initial impressions, of course I intend to visit all these places and see for myself the possibilities and the progress. But my initial impression is that there is a lot of interest in India among Indian companies for investment opportunities in Oman. And I think some of the terms that are being offered in some of these economic zones are really very attractive. We have already made significant economic investments. Indian companies have made investments in other zones, and some projects have also started getting implemented in Duqm as well. So I would say that yes, there is huge potential and there is a lot of interest in India. But of course only time will tell how much of it will get realized. We would of course we would like to work with everyone in Oman to realize this shared objective.
Right. So will attracting investors also mean attracting skills from India to Oman and manpower especially?
Definitely. I think when a company invests in a country, it has to be a comprehensive process, package. Already I am aware that a number of Indian companies are placing emphasis on capacity building, on skill development, and this is natural. Of course you would prefer to have manpower, skilled manpower, which will be able to meet your requirements. So I think it's an ongoing process, and I'm sure companies are conscious of the benefits of investing in skill development and capacity building.
Right. Now, just again, on behalf of our viewers, of course, the diaspora has been very close to the embassy in all of these years, and the Indian embassy has been known to be approachable extremely. So how are you going to enable the interaction and the communication between the embassy and the diaspora?
Well, as I said, I think I'm fortunate because already the embassy is very open and approachable for everyone. We have used including various instruments, including social media tools, to reach out to diaspora, and the diaspora has also been using these channels to reach out to the embassy. So I of course intend to maintain, and as and when opportunity arises, I would travel to various parts of Oman also to meet with everyone, the business people, the authorities and diaspora residing in various parts of Oman.
Right, and I'm sure the open houses are going to continue as well.
Of course, I have already held one.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow,
so
brilliant.
that process will continue.
Right, so since you've already held an open house, I need to ask you this. What are the main issues that you have identified that have been approached to you?
Well, I think the issues are well known, and I would say that from time to time there are cases where some representative of diaspora face some issues, some difficulties, some hardship. But I must say that thanks to the cooperation that we receive from government of Oman and other authorities, we have been able to successfully resolve these issues. So I think we would like to continue with that.
Right, so Your Excellency, I'm sure this is a little too soon to ask because you've only been here for a month, if I'm not wrong. So do you so far have a plan, have like a calendaric plan set for what you want to do?
Well, I don't have a plan, to be honest. I mean, of course, the agenda is pretty clear. The agenda is first and foremost to implement the decisions that were taken at the summit, and second, to identify new areas where we can move forward even more rapidly. But of course, it's a collaborative effort, and therefore we have to work with all other stakeholders in making this happen.
Right, and finally, before we wrap up this first interview with you, is there a message that you would like to give out to the people who are listening to us, especially from the Indian community?
Well, I of course would like to convey greetings and best wishes on behalf of the government and people of India to the government and people of Oman. We really value our relationship with Oman. We really there is a strong desire in India to not only nurture but to strengthen these links, and therefore as Ambassador of India it would be my endeavor to work with everyone in strengthening these links, and that is what I see as my primary role.
Right, all the very best to you, sir, and we're really happy to have you in Oman for the next 3 years, if I'm not wrong. But again, congratulations on this new stint, and we're very excited to have you in Oman.
Thank you very much.
Right, and thank you for watching Times TV.